how you guys doing out there. Now this video here is gonna be hard hitting. There's gonna be a lot of reality in it, and if it gets under your skin because you don't like facing reality, I understand that. And it's not meant to offend anybody, but I deal in the realms of reality. So if you're not ready to face those realities, this video is not for you. Okay, I stated in the last video that I was going to use some of this footage from the video I've taken the other day where I was in a predominantly European American neighborhood. And I want to show you the contrast between this neighborhood and what the other neighborhoods look like. But back on land ownership, I mean, for those who might have not seen that last video, land ownership is very important. And if you don't have any land, you really don't have any basis for survival. You have to, everything you need is gonna have to come from someone else, whether it be your food, your clothing, whatever. Even your shelter is gonna come from someone else. Even if you buy a house, like I stated before, or you rent an apartment, it's still based on someone else providing that for you. And if you're okay with that, that's fine, cool. I'm not here to tell you, again, in my videos, I don't tell you what to do and what to believe. But I've also noticed this trend that's going on where is this ideology of minimalistic living, where people are happy living in 285 square foot home or 85 square foot home. Don't buy into that concept, okay? The people who have the money, they don't seem to be living a minimalistic lifestyle at all. In fact, they seem to be expanding, but they want you to condition your mind to be happy with nothing, you see? But you're not supposed to notice that, because right now is the in trend to have to have nothing, to have a minimalistic lifestyle, live a free life and give away most of your stuff. You don't need that stuff, and it's to condition you to not have anything. Again, if they really wanted to convince people like me, they would start with themselves. But again, this moving trend is to condition your minds not to have anything, to live in a small space. And I mean, you can see that from the images up above of the articles, that if you really look at these people, either they're paid actors or they might be on some type of controlled substance, because there's no way a person can be happy in that type of environment. That's like putting the elephant into a 20 by 20 enclosure and expect the elephant to be happy. It's not gonna work. Or putting a Great Dane into a 5 by 5 enclosure, that Great Dane is gonna be very, very unhappy. And we as humans we are still animals nonetheless. So again, they want to condition your mind into accepting this reality that you don't have much, that you don't own much, that you don't have any land, you know. And they're gonna build these nice small structures for you to live in, and you're supposed to be perfectly happy with that. Again, and they're gonna use beautiful people, you know, to as always, to sell you any type of idea. And you want to say, well, that's not true. They're not conditioning us. Yes, they are. Just to have their condition many women all around the world. I know we're talking about land, but you know, I'm gonna pivot briefly. They have conditioned many women all over the world are conditioned to have a bigger butt. Not saying every woman is gonna fall for it, but a lot of women out there doing whatever they can to get a bigger butt, whether it be buying the underwears and so forth, or buying the pants that give you that actually highlight the booty you have and whatnot. And you gotta understand that concept, that ideology you have, has actually been conditioned into you by these celebrities, these social degenerates who are paid to sell you these type of concepts, these type of ideology. Just like back in the day, used to be bigger breasts, and I get it. I know brothers want to be have a lady with bigger breasts so they can motorboat. You know, I get it. Believe me, I get it. But you know, if your breasts are too big, it causes you to have back problems because a lot of weight you got to hold up. Well, the same thing you have with when your booty is too big. You know, it causes you to have a lot of back problems as well. You know, and other problems. And realistically, the booty really doesn't have any function. I mean, that's where, I'm not gonna get gross, but that's where, you know, the waste gets out. I mean, it's just a muscle. But we emphasize on that in society because we are conditioned to do that. Same thing with the breasts. You know, that's why you got some women right now protesting. You know, they want to go shirtless and all kind of stuff because we're conditioned in this society to look at it as a sex object. So it seems to me like those so-called uncivilized tribes are a little bit more civilized than we are in these societies. Just saying, because they could be out there naked and don't have any problems. But hey, that's a different topic for a different time. We're talking about land, so I'm gonna get back on that. But I'm just showing you that they can easily condition you to believe anything. and it's easily done and it's painless also. The same way they sold the concept of bigger breasts, the same way they sold the concept of bigger lips, and people getting Botox injection and so on. It's always going to use that. So it's the same thing with this minimalistic concept. They use people who look good for the most part to sell you this concept to be they're nice and smiling and grinning, and you're like, okay, you know what? That's not a bad idea. No, it is a bad idea. If they really want to make it real, they who have all this money, all this resources, let them live a minimalistic lifestyle. Convince me of that then. Let me see these people who have these world leaders and so forth live in a 285 square feet home and be happy with it. And really happy. I don't mean living it just for the show or the airing for what you already record. I mean living it permanently. Give up all the land they own. All that acres upon acres upon acres of farmland that they own. Convince me of that. Then I might give that minimalistic concept thought. But since I don't have much to give away in the first place, well, it really realistically wouldn't pertain to me. But like I say, I'm still on land though, but I just want to touch on that because I see a lot of people getting this idea in the head. You know, everybody living in this, or not everybody, but some people living in my gorgeous tiny home and living in buses and stuff. I'm saying they really conditioning people to live with less. It's good for the environment. It's good for the ozone. And listen. And they try to convince you that the earth is going to be overpopulated. But yet when I fly in an airplane, I see miles and miles and miles. I'm not saying acres or hectares. I'm saying miles and miles and miles of virgin land. No one is on it. But you're convincing the people that the earth's overpopulated. But once again, the people who have all the resources and all the money, they seem to be expanding more and more. If the world is overpopulated with people, why are you expanding? Why are you buying more and more land? You have way more land than any one person can use. Just food for thought. Alright, now let's get into the other part of the video here now, where we're actually going to go into a predominantly Mexican American neighborhood, and without me even telling you that, you can tell about a drastic change by how that one neighborhood looked to how this neighborhood looked. And in this neighborhood, you have many businesses that are owned by Mexican Americans. And I mean, that should go without saying. I mean, if you live in an area, you should have businesses, right? I mean, it only makes sense. In the last video, if you didn't watch it, I showed you many businesses that were owned and controlled and actually employed majority European American employees. So that's not something that's rare or something that's uncommon. That's something that you should practice if you want to actually support the people in your neighborhood. I'm just saying. I mean, so you don't have to complain about people not hiring you if you create your own businesses, and the people who actually work there and live in your neighborhood patronize your business. Then you have a cycle where your money bounces from hand to hand to hand to hand to hand. But if you live in a neighborhood where none of the businesses are owned by you or controlled by you, then you have to subject to somebody else's whim. And if they feel like hiring you, fine. But if they don't feel like hiring you, then most you can do, being African Americans or African in America, or what you want to say, black folks, the most you can do is protest about them not hiring you. And that's one of the most asinine things I've ever seen. You complaining about somebody not hiring you. In case it seemed to me that you don't even realize you have the power. You complaining about these people not hiring you in your own neighborhoods, but you fail to realize you have the power. You don't have to patronize them. That's the end. I mean, at a certain point in time, you're gonna have to say, man, we gotta keep it simple, stupid. You don't gotta overcomplicate this situation. And again, I'm not calling you stupid. I'm just saying you just gotta keep it simple. But you fail to realize that. And that's not what this video is about. But still, that's one to touch on that, because for some reason the people in general realize they fail to realize they are the ones with the power. But they give it to someone else. And the funniest thing is they look for someone else to give them solutions to problems they themselves have created and they themselves can fix. I digress. Alright. Again, this is a predominantly Mexican American neighborhood, but there are some mixtures in here. You might find some European people around, European Americans and some Asian Americans. And I did a video about this. Well, I've done a video about this a couple months back when I used my Dr. Claude Anderson and so forth. And this is not too far from this location. Here's where I show you the Vietnamese complex where they had all those different businesses and so forth. So I'm not too far from that location, but just want to show you the direct contrast between the European American neighborhood, the predominant European American neighborhood, what they would call middle class neighborhood, and this Mexican American neighborhood. So you can see the direct contrast. Not saying it's a rundown neighborhood, not saying it's a bad neighborhood. I'm just showing you the direct how the roads look. You see, they use concrete on the road versus tar because concrete is more expensive and it lasts longer. But not only that, it's a lot safer also because when it rains, when the first couple minutes of rain, this tar, any tar period, is like glass. When you stop, your vehicle slides. Why? Because tar, we should all know that tar is a byproduct of oil. Yeah. So if you ever notice again when it rains again, a tar road, look at the road. Just look at those the top surface of the road. You see all like a little glistening on the road. You might see gold and some purple and so forth. That's oil. That's actually oil. So again, that stuff, like I said, this is really dangerous when it becomes wet. But all around here, you're seeing plenty of Mexican Americans, businesses and so forth around here. And rightfully so. I mean, they got it in their language right here, you see. So it's to tell the people around this neighborhood that, hey, if you want to come here, this is what we sell, this is what we do right here, But also it lets the people who speak English, hey, you could patronize our business as well. Naturally, this auto parts store right here is owned and controlled by Mexican Americans. Been there for 15 years. I had to go in there to buy some parts. They were the only one that had it. So I mean. But I'm just saying, I'm not nothing against anybody. Just showing you another place for Mexican Americans here to shop, and that's owned and controlled by Mexican Americans. And again, everybody's out there creating businesses, making their money bounce from one hand to one hand to one hand. But for some reason, when you're trying to actually show African Americans, black folks, whatever you want to identify yourself as, you try to show them, hey man, this is what works. Why don't we emulate what works? This tow truck driver right here, this company right here, owned and controlled by Mexican Americans. This is two Mexican guys inside this truck, and they come out of Dallas. I mean, why don't we use what works? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. That's the thing I keep saying. Why are you trying to reinvent the wheel? Use what works. Now this is what works in that neighborhood. The money's bouncing from hand to hand to hand. When Dr. Claude Anderson says, as soon as a black person gets $1, it goes right out of his hand. As soon as he gets it, this is a reality. This is a reality. And by the end of the video, I'm gonna show you some stuff, and some of the stuff pretty much might startle you, because a lot of people talk about stuff, but they really don't show you. So I'm taking my time to show you what's really going on. And I'm not mad at anybody, Why would I be mad at somebody from doing what they need to do or doing what they're supposed to do? To me, that's a cowardly stance. I mean, that's a foolish stance that you don't want to do for yourself. So you're going to look at everybody and blame. So you're like, they're getting ahead because of this. No. You need to do what you need to do. Don't blame people for your incompetence or sometimes your laziness. Because we kind of relax in our laurels. Well, we sit back and we just complain. That's why I keep saying, don't fall in love with personalities. Again, me saying that, not telling you what to do. I'm just saying, in general, don't fall in love with personalities. It could be your wife, your husband, your boss, whatever. These YouTube personalities, don't fall in love with that, because it sometimes inhibits you from seeing the true person's character. When you fall in love with that personality, oh man, yeah, they're deep, man. Oh yeah, they look good, and yeah, but if underneath that, what type of person are they? Well, I don't know, but man, they say some deep stuff, and when you listen to them say this so-called deep stuff, it's not really deep at all. It's something they would have known too if they read a book, but a lot of people don't read anymore. I know people who, when they left college, they're like, thank God I don't have to read another book. I'm not studying nothing again. I mean, I'm not joking. I'm dead serious. I have not read not one book. I ain't reading nothing again. I'm done. Got that degree. I'm good. Thank God. And that's a bad place to be in, because as long as you're alive, you should be learning. Every day you should be learning something. Not saying it gotta be something new all the time. You could be building on what you already know and just keep learning more and more about that particular field or whatever have you. But to just say you're not gonna learn anything anymore in a world that's constantly changing. And when I say world, I mean the world pretty much stays the same. The people, the technology is advancing, and if you still have old ideologies in your head, I mean, that might not do you any good. I mean, in some of our parents' time, well, actually, in a lot of our parents' time, there was no such thing as the internet. You know, they could not envision many years ago having digital print, and that's why a lot of companies who only focus on paper print went out of business, because they did not see the change coming. They was not able to adapt. This right here is a Mexican American junkyard. Again, I'm not mad at nobody. I could take it to an area in Kennedale that have a whole lot of Mexican American junkyards. Am I mad because they have junkyards? No, I'm not mad. And what I found out from them, what they do also is take a lot of the crushed cars down to Mexico and open a junkyard down there, or take a lot of the old cars that they can't get sold there and take it down to Mexico. I said, oh, how do I know that? I ask questions. I mean, I'm not afraid to talk to people. The most you can do is not talk to me. That's it. That's the most you're going to do. And I already conditioned my mind that, hey, that doesn't bother me. Because the most you can do is not talk to me. Cool. I got nothing to lose. But what do I have to gain? Information. And yeah, they talk to me. Yeah, man, we open what we can get solar, we send it down to Mexico. I said, oh, okay. Because one time I saw them loading up in the truck. You know, I was in a junkyard looking for some parts. Yeah, and I said, okay, cool. Me asked this young guy, and I talked to him, man. He said, yeah, man, they have a couple junkyards down there, and every once in a while, I which means the guy, he bounced back and forth from the two junkyards. I said, oh, okay, cool. He said, yeah, they make more money down there sometimes with some of the parts, because some of the parts are hard to find in Mexico. I said, okay, cool. That's what they're doing. Am I mad? Of course not. They're doing what they're supposed to do. Now, in this area here, everybody you see walking the street, these are all homeless people. This is real. This is all homeless people. And this is this is what people don't actually speak on, is the homelessness in America. But this is a real epidemic, and this is not even all of the homeless people. There are much more homeless people than this that I can actually find, but I'm just showing you a little bit of them right now. This guy is homeless with a wheelchair, sleeping on the ground. And I want to say this in some of you guys' mind, as to why I don't focus on this prejudice or this race factor. I don't really see that too much, because yes, I know my color, my skin, believe me, and I know people judge me based off of that, believe me. However, this is a bus depot over here, also right here, right? So you're right next to the bus depot, the Fort Worth bus depot right here. And I'm gonna come back to that topic in a second. Not the bus depot, but about race in a second. Now, I just want to show you some of these other guys. This lady over here, she's homeless over there too. Has a little red suitcase right next to her leg. You know, and she sleep, I guess, so I take it she sleep at the bus stop at night. So you can't stay there all the time. When the daytime comes, they have to move on. Now, this brother over here, you probably can't see him right here. He's homeless too. He got his sign in his hand. You know, and at first I couldn't realize what he was doing, but I'm gonna get back to him later on. But I just want to show you that when you guys talking about fantasies and, you know, Planet Nibiru and Planet X and all that stuff, I'm thinking to myself, man, do these guys really know what's going on in the neighborhoods? How many people are actually facing foreclosure and homelessness and eviction? How many people go at night without food? I mean, little kids. I'm not talking about adults. I'm talking about children that go to sleep with nothing to eat, and they wake up with nothing to eat, and they can't wait till they get to school so they can get something to eat. I mean, this is reality. But I hear all this escape talk. We're gonna astral project out of here, and we're gonna do all this stuff, and we're worrying about the meta nature, and it's all homeless people. Except the guys who working with the jackets, of course, obviously. But when I hear all that kind of stuff, I'm wondering to myself, where are these people coming from? That's why I keep saying, I don't know what you're talking about, because I see this on a day-to-day basis. All these people over here, homeless. This is where they hang out. This is where they can play basketball and so forth. But this is real. There's a lot of people living in cars and stuff. And poverty transcends race. I'm getting back into race now. Poverty transcends race. All that stuff that you think you've learned about racism, well, I'm not supposed to talk to that people. For some reason, when I see people out here in the street, that seems to go by the wayside, because you realize your humanity. you realize your humanity right here. African American guy and a European American girl walking across the street together. So you realize, well, wait a minute, when we in this together, I'm blaming you for my problem, but you're not the problem at all. It's the people that control and own everything is the problem, not you. See, everybody down here struggling. You might see people dressed a little bit better because they're just newly to being on the streets. This is a fact. All these people here. Okay? It's not me making it up. It's an African American sister, so she must not know she's God because she out here dancing in the cold, just trying to get her exercise on. She's homeless. You saw her bags and stuff. So these African Americans you're seeing here, and European, everybody else, but I'm focusing on African Americans because some of us believe we're gods and goddesses. So maybe I should have stopped my vehicle and say, hey man, what you doing in the street? Don't you know you're God and goddesses or kings and queens? They probably would have looked at me crazy before they went upside my head. Rightfully so. You see, I'm grounded in reality because this is what I see. I see this. But for some weird reason, we get lost. We're gods and goddesses and kings and queens, but these kings and queens and gods and goddesses are living on the street. Now, this brother over here, I didn't realize what he was doing at first, but then it dawned on me. I said, well, this guy's still in the same spot with his sign. I said, I get it. He has astral project outside his body. So to me, look like his body is still there, but his spirit and mind is gone. I said, that's what it is. See, you guys got to teach me that stuff, man, because I'm a little jealous because I didn't realize what he was. Well, I mean, until I realized I saw the little glow around him. You know, he was glowing. You know, you got that glow. You feel it, and you won't let go. You know what I'm saying? So he had that glow. I said, oh, that's what the guy did, man. He went ahead and astral project right outside. So, I mean, to me, look, he was still holding his sign up, and, you know, he's still in the same spot, but he already teleported out. Man, y'all got to get me hip to that, man, because I need to learn how to do that stuff, man, so I can escape when I need to escape, you know? But on the real, this is what I see on a daily basis. A lot of African Americans don't talk about it. A lot of people in the media don't talk about it. These are the forgotten people. Nobody wants to talk about the homeless people. Oh, homeless people, get a job, you bum. You know, get a job, like as if they volunteered to be homeless. Like they actually raise a hand. Who wants to be homeless? Oh, me. They didn't volunteer to be homeless. These are all these people you see around here. Of course, you see different people that work around here also. But a lot of people you've seen around here are homeless. This guy right here, look at him tucking his stuff behind him. This elderly guy, this African American guy, I guess he didn't know he was a god, or a king at least. Tucking all this stuff behind of him. If you're a god or king and queen, you don't have to do all that stuff. You should be able to manifest stuff. I never read any place in the Bible that God was homeless. I never read any place in the Bible that any king or any other book for that matter that a king and a queen was homeless, living on the street. You know, surviving the best way they could. But if you have land, at least you can buy. I know you can lose your land, but at least if you have land, you can build a little structure on your land. And at the very least, you could farm some food. You can buy seeds at any Home Depot, Walmart. Right here is a European American and his family living in this car right here. Right there. I looked over and I saw them. You know, this lady works in the area here, so she's not homeless. She works here. Like I said, some people do work here, but if I was to stay there long enough and walk around, you can tell the difference who are homeless and who working here. But back to what I say, if you have land, you could farm the land. Any Home Depot sells seeds for like something like $1.38 or $2 and change. You can put a little bit of seed. You can plant some tomatoes or potatoes or corn, some little staple food that you can actually use to actually maybe have enough where you can actually not only feed yourself, but you might be able to sell some of it to have a little income. Not saying you can make a whole lot of money, but at least you have some type of option. But when you don't own anything, like all here, by the way, all here used to have houses. And the way I know they see all those little driveways that lead to nothing, those little driveways, there used to be houses there, but they knocked them down because there was such a bad state of repair that they just knocked them down. The land is worth more. That's why I came to this neighborhood. This is a predominantly African American neighborhood, by the way. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can tell just by looking at the neighborhood, but they knocked the houses down because the houses I mean, one good wind and the house would have fall over any damn way. So all right here, that used to be somebody's house. The driveway's there, no house. So that's all I know. But now it's slowly turning into a Mexican American neighborhood. And am I mad? No, I'm not mad at nobody. You gotta do what you gotta do to survive. You see, we want to spend a lot of time marching and protesting, got our lips all pushed up in the air as if that's supposed to mean something. This is real funny. This guy lives around. He's an African American male, by the way. Why is this guy driving this Mercedes Benz in this neighborhood? I don't tell me he don't live here. Yeah, this guy lives there because I drove by here before. I seen this car here before. But for some weird reason, when I talk about stuff in reality, you don't see it. And we gotta get our cars looking good. We gotta go out there and show off. I ain't got nothing against that. All this right here. I used to see that platform, that slab. That was somebody's house. Knocked it down. The land is more valuable. That's what I'm trying to. That's the main important thing in this whole video. Is I'm trying to show you that land, all that used to be somebody's house. The land is more important than what's on top of the land. You gotta get that in your mind. The land is more important than what's on top of the land. So you have all these drives I'm driving by right here. All this I used to have houses there. All you see is vacant lots now. Now this is what I'm looking at over here in this video. Now I'm showing you this this vehicle over here. I mean this house. I'm sorry. Now this house is still in somewhat good shape. However, it wouldn't surprise me if I come back through here a couple months from now or even a year from now, there's just be a vacant lot. Just like this one right here, there's just a vacant lot. Used to have a house here, but nothing there now. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I'm trying to drum the point home. Land ownership is so important. Land. Without land, you don't have anything to really stand on. I know everybody have a whole bunch of ideas and ideologies going on out there, but if you don't have land, I don't care what you're doing. Even if you're out there living in your car, you need some place to park your car that's safe on someone's land. Even if it's a Walmart you're staying at, you still need to park it somewhere. You're not parking up in the air. Okay, this is reality. Look at that. You used to have a house there too. Gone. So just want to drill that point home. So when I hear all these different strange ideologies, there's nothing wrong with indulging in fantasy every once in a while. Even if it might be a reality. Even if there might be a Planet X and Planet Neighborhood, that's great. No problem. How does that complement your life? How does that help you? Realistic. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being serious. How does that help you? It helps the person presenting the information, but how does it help you? See, we don't really think that far down the road. You just stop there. So that's why I say you fall in love with personalities. I'm tired of all the things I've been talking about over the years in this video. I'm tired all together. You fall in love with personality, so you're not able to think beyond what the personality wants you to learn. They never try to get you to learn more than they know, because then you wouldn't need them. So there's always a dependency there. See? But when you go outside the personality, you can listen to them all day long, but you gotta be able to extrapolate the information you need and disregard the rest you don't. But if you hang on every word and you cling on it, just waiting, you don't really get to see the true character of the individual, and you don't get to see where they're trying to lead you to. I mean, how do you know this information is going to be beneficial? Well, so and so said it. Okay, well, did you fact check it yourself? No, I believe them. I trust them. Okay. How many times have someone steered you wrong? This is a question you got to answer. I can't answer it for you. You see? So a lot of times we don't want to focus on reality. And I understand life is hard. We need to escape every once in a while. I have no problem with that. Just don't stay escaped too long. Just don't stay lost too long. Just don't stay looking up too long. Don't stay stargazing too long. Okay? Because you're going to miss a lot. Time does not wait. We all have 24 hours in our portfolio. All of us. What you choose to do with your time is up to you. It's always amazing to me how I find people who at the very least complaining that they don't have enough time to do X, Y, Z. Yet when I talk to people who have money, They find time, because like I said before, we all have 24 hours in a day. So how come they can find time to do what they need to do, but you, who at the bottom, struggling, I can't find time to do this, I can't find. The truth is, you don't want to make time. If I was to go over your life for the fine tooth comb, I could say, yep, you can cut this out, you can cut that out, you can cut this out, but you don't want to find time. It's easier to complain versus making a change. I mean, that reality, it sucks sometimes. I know, you don't want to hear it, I know. But the beautiful thing about listening to videos on YouTube and so forth, I don't have to see you, so I don't have to see just your facial expressions, and you don't have to see mine. All you have to do is take the information for what it's worth. Take the parts you need and disregard the parts you don't need. But the beautiful thing about it also is, it's only you and you alone listen to this information, so you can choose to do what you want to do with it. So, and also, I don't know you, so I don't know what your life is like. So you can make the much needed changes you need to make without me ever knowing, or anybody else ever knowing for that matter, because it's your life and you're there wherever you listen to it, in your car, wherever you might be at. You can say, hey, you know what? Some of what this guy is saying is accurate. I can use some of it, or you know what? He's all full of hot air. I'll just disregard it all. But the end result is going to be the same. The decision you make is going to be up to you. So that's all I'm really saying in a nutshell. But also just show you that the importance of land ownership. That's my main focus with this video, to show you the importance of land ownership. That's one of the keys for survival. I already told you, land, water, and people. You need males and females to reproduce your race. These are facts. If you just lose just one of those three, your civilization is doomed. I didn't say lose two, I said just one. If you don't have any land, I don't know how you plan to grow your food, or get your clothes, or whatever have you, live. I don't know how you plan to survive. And if we all know, if you don't have any water, well, you can forget about it. I think the human body can only last about 8 days, I believe, without water. I might be mistaken on that, but I'm pretty sure somebody will tell me. But water plays a very vital role in a human's life. Well, matter of fact, in all living things' life, water plays a very vital role. So I'm just taking the downtown route again, just showing you that haven't gone far from where the homeless people are at. Just to show you that it's a stark difference between people who have money and people who don't have money, and all around it's amazing. I'm literally less than 30 seconds from downtown Fort Worth, where you might see people driving around with Maseratis and Lamborghinis and Ferraris and so forth, and you come like 30 seconds outside of downtown Fort Worth and you see people living on the street. I mean, it's amazing. It's really, really amazing. But again, just I hate to sound like a broken record, but it's really, really important, and it's not really taught a lot. It's to teach you to go out, get a good job. You know, if that's such a thing, that type of ideology doesn't exist anymore. Go out and find a good job, get a good education. That doesn't really work in this type of society anymore. You know, and especially when you have that type of competition coming from all over now. You don't have to compete with just Americans anymore. You gotta compete with people from all over, India, Asia, Africa, all over, for these jobs, because the companies, they insource, they recruit talent. Yeah, right around where I live right now, we have people from India taking some of the IT jobs. I mean, it is what it is. I speak to them. You know, they're over here in the visas and so forth. I speak to them. Like I said, I have no problem with nobody. Me, I don't harbor any ill will towards anybody. See, I don't know their whole situation, and they got an opportunity to do better for themselves. I'm happy for them. You know, I wouldn't be foolish to be mad with the person who's taking opportunities. You should be mad with the person who presents the opportunity, which in this case would be the corporations. But that's another topic. I wanted to show you that guy a little second ago. He was still at the bus stop, so he was actually he's still astral projected outside his body, so that's why he was still there in the same spot. Now we're going a little bit deeper into the African American neighborhood. Now you might remember this complex from where I actually had a video with Dr. Claude Anderson talking in the background, and this is the complex I was at. Now we're predominantly in an African American neighborhood, predominantly, and if you remember correctly, in the video I had before this one, where I was in a predominantly European American neighborhood, all the businesses were owned by Europeans, none owned by African Americans. Well, I know a lot of you might be thinking, well, I mean, they don't have any right to own any business. Or you might think, well, they shouldn't own any business up there because they don't live up there. African Americans don't live in that neighborhood. So I don't see why they would have a business up there. Good point. Very, very good point. Well, this is a predominantly African American neighborhood, but yet all of the businesses I'm seeing are not owned by African Americans. Funny. I mean, we all agree that maybe, well, it's a good thing they don't own any business up there because they don't live in a neighborhood, in a European American neighborhood. But shouldn't they own businesses in their neighborhood that they live in? I'm just saying. I mean, if we live in this neighborhood, shouldn't we own something in the neighborhood that you live in? I mean, we could agree on that, right? But yet, here I am in the middle of an African American neighborhood, and I am not seeing any businesses that's owned and controlled by African Americans. Funny. When I went to the Mexican American neighborhood, I could find some businesses that are owned by Mexican Americans and own and control. And of course, when I went to the European American neighborhood, I found plenty of businesses that were owned and controlled by European Americans. But yet, here I am in the middle of an African American neighborhood. And by the way, this area you see I'm in right now, this area has already been gentrified, and the people around here, they haven't really realized what's going on yet. They really believe that they're building all these businesses around them for them. They're not doing it for them. In a couple of years, they'll be moved right out the community. Why? Because they wouldn't be able to afford to stay there because the taxes will be too high. Oh yeah, every time you got businesses coming like that, your taxes go up because they have more of a convenience now. And this area I'm at right now is really close to downtown Fort Worth. It's less than 5 minutes away. If you jump on 287, which I'll show you that in a second, and you head towards downtown, this is prime real estate. Because if you know anything about how any city is structured, the downtown is always the first place to be built up. So more likely when you had to turn white flight, they're gonna leave from downtown, go towards the suburbs. Well, it's gonna take a little time for the African Americans and other people to follow suit because we don't have the money. So you stay in the downtown areas, you might sprawl out to the outside areas of the downtown, but not too far. So that's why the downtown areas looks a little bit depressed when you see like old buildings and so forth, because that's always the first area to be built up is your downtown areas and your surrounding areas around the downtown. So now, like I said, this is all pretty much in the surrounding areas of downtown Fort Worth, but it's still prime real estate, and that's why you see the money interest coming back in here, actually infusing money into the community now. And the people who live around here might be thinking, oh man, thank God they're building these things around here, but they're not doing it for you. You see, you gotta understand that the money interest will take time and plan. They will plan things out for a long period of time. You just don't understand. Now, I'm still here in the same African American neighborhood, I'm right behind the shopping center where the Walmart and everything at. I want to show you that they're building something here on somebody's land. You see how important land is, but that's not what I want to talk about right now. You see all the construction workers out there? Now, you would figure if I'm a predominantly African American neighborhood, you should find at least one or two African Americans working out here, right? I'm just saying. But for some reason, once again, and this is what I'm talking about, reality. When you're talking about these way out concepts, I'm focusing on reality. All of the construction workers that I found around here were all Mexican Americans. I'm going to show you in a second. So, when I'm speaking on this type of stuff, like I want to shift, and you see, oh, this was nothing but, if I came here about 2 months ago, it would be nothing but grass. But you can see it's still in the infancy, and I'm going to try to come back here when it's done, in about a couple of months from now, and show you what it looks like from this to when it's finished. See, so this is the building. There's going to be more businesses and stuff in here. You see? But for some weird reason, I don't really hear this particular topic being spoken on. I mean, yes, you could blame the Europeans from here till tomorrow, but it won't change a damn thing unless you change your mind and how you perceive the information you're being taught. Look at this. All this. Nobody find it strange. I'm gonna zero in on these guys right here so you can see that I'm not telling you any lies. Yeah, they are Mexican Americans. Am I mad at them? No, I'm not mad. I want to reiterate that I'm not mad at anybody for taking the opportunity. Okay, let me just make that perfectly clear. I'm not mad at anybody. Okay, these are Mexican Americans. And it's also when you hear people talking what they talk, but they're not showing you. I can easily just have a black screen and be talking, but that's not my way of doing things. Not begrudging anybody for doing however they want to do it, but I want to show you. Because seeing is believing, that's what they say, right? So the builders, the electricians are all Mexican Americans. But yet, we in a predominantly, I keep stressing that, I'm in an African American neighborhood. Yet, where are the African American workers? Well, nobody want to answer now. Everybody, what are you gonna say? Well, they don't give us opportunities. Why don't you make your own? You can't buy land and build something for yourself? Why don't you make your own opportunities? Why are you still waiting around for someone to validate you with a job? So what happens when they never validate you with a job? Then what? Nobody want to answer. See right here, the building? The building right here, again. One side you can see is nothing but virgin land. Look at the next side. Right here is going to be a YMCA. You think they're building that for the people in this neighborhood? No, they're not. See, once again, we don't have foresight. You see, we just focus on the here and now. We're so busy trying to make a living. Just all you can do is afford to just focus on the here and now. All this is a predominantly, well, it used to be. I'm not sure. I haven't gone on in there now, but I know it used to be a predominantly African American neighborhood. So you really believe they're going to build all this stuff up for you? No, it's not. You got to think in terms of how they think it's going to be. It could be for years from now. But mark my words. They will move the African Americans out and move in a different type of people. Because you wouldn't be able to afford to live there anymore. You see, they always had segregation. I don't advocate it, but it's always had segregation. Segregation hasn't gone anywhere. It's just a new form. It's called economic segregation. But again, people don't focus on what's happening now. They're too busy being, I'm going to keep saying it. And if it hurts your feelings, you'll have to be hurt. Maybe I can hurt you into reality. Some of you guys are too busy being gods and goddesses and kings and queens, and you forgot that you have mortal needs. You have the regular common people needs. And if you don't want to hear, right now we're driving back at the, I think this is back at the Ross. Yeah, this is back at the Ross and all the different stores here. But I just want to show you how close we were. The construction is going on to where the other shopping center is at. So we don't focus on regular people's needs. Excuse me. And you don't take the time to realize what's happening right around you. The time some of us realize what happened, by the time some of us realize what happened, it'll be too late. So all you can do is react. But then people want to call you a reactionary. Well, aren't some of you guys right now decoding the movie Get Out? So aren't you reacting to the movie Get Out? As I said before, people say things, but they don't think it out. They think it sounds cool, but when I hear them, I say these people are clueless. Absolutely clueless. To call someone a reactionary, well, we all react to certain things, don't we? So you will react to my video, so you will be a reactionary. I mean, it's just, I think the problem is people use words they don't really fully understand. But look at that business there, now open. Pollo Loco. Well, I can guarantee it's not owned by African Americans, but hey, what do I know, right? I already told you, that house there, right in front of you, is owned by a Mexican American. The one to the right of it, I'm not sure who owns that one, but the one to the gate around it, right there, that one's owned by Mexican Americans. So the change is already happening. Look at that chicken joint. All these businesses just coming in. When I came through here last time, I didn't have some of these businesses in here, but Now they do. So AutoZone, Panda Express, African Americans own none of them. None of them. But for some reason, when I speak about this, I'm called different types of names. You don't want to see the reality. Oh, I guess we must own that McDonald's there, right? No, we don't. And when you go in there, most of the workers are not even African Americans. But hey, what do I know? Right in front of you, that's on Highway 287. So you could take it go to the left. You'll be downtown in less than 5 minutes. Prime real estate, but we don't understand how real estate works. This is prime real estate. This is value. So you might have been, whoever lived in this area might not have valued it. Doesn't mean everybody won't value it the same way. You see, because a lot of times you don't know what you have. I mean, it is what it is. But I know it's going to hurt your feelings, but by the end of this video, you're going to really get your feelings hurt. I already know it. Because I forgot this was there until I drove through. I said, oh crap, I remember it was here now, man. It's going to hurt your feelings, but stick with me though. That's 7-Eleven. Oh, that's not owned by us. You already know that, so keep rolling through. And we're going even deeper into the African American neighborhood. Just to show you. Okay, just to show you. These gas stations, we don't own any of them. Keep rolling. Okay? But people want to call me names. People want to say, oh, you full of S, man. And look, if you can't deal with reality, that's your problem. Okay? I do apologize for that. The video, the camera battery just died on me. So I had to change the battery out. So, okay, we're going back here now. Still in the same street we were on before. I just had to pull over to change the battery out. And we got a church. Nothing wrong with a church. Like I said, I got nothing against it. Whoever wants to believe what they want to believe in. Nothing wrong with it. Do what you got to do. But I'm just showing you. Now here we are in the prime real estate. Like I said, less than a couple minutes from downtown Fort Worth. And just look. And then we have another church. Oh yeah. Vacant lots. Another church? Man, how's that working out? So less than a month, we don't pass 3 churches. Hey, like I said, I got nothing wrong with whatever you want to believe in. That's good for you, man. Are you kidding me, right? Hey, it says seeing is believing, right? So if I say it, you wouldn't believe it. So hey, I'm just showing you. I'm just going to show you. Okay, we're in a predominant neighborhood that we don't pass. It looks like 4 churches. But hey, now you got a Walgreens. You know we don't own that. No African Americans own that. Then you have a Fiesta supermarket right in front of you on the left hand side, right there. Well, you know we don't own that, so keep going. For some reason in the hood, you gotta find a rent center. You notice we didn't see not one in the neighborhood. We had the predominant European American neighborhood. We didn't see not one in that middle class neighborhood. I guess they realized that people in that neighborhood are not gonna rent any furniture because they realize they're being ripped off. They're paying 2 and 3 times the price for the same stuff they can buy outright. Nevertheless, this is the reality. But another church. Are you moving on? But how is it working out for you? Why don't you take some of the money and invest in the church and invest in the neighborhood and create some businesses? Unless we all going to create churches. I don't know. Again, this is a predominantly African American neighborhood. I keep wanting to stress that point. That when people drive through your neighborhoods and they see this, they see opportunity to prey upon you. All these businesses you got around here, I mean, you don't own and control none of them. You might control the barbershop we just passed. I'm not sure about that one. But I know I got a lot of foreigners in the neighborhood. So when Dr. Amos Wilson talked about foreigners getting off of the plane and coming straight to your neighborhood, this is what he's talking about. Dr. Clark Anderson, the same thing. This is what they're talking about. But are you a next? Wow. Moving on. So all this you're seeing here, this vacant land, opportunities to create businesses to cater to your people in your neighborhoods. But I guess the African American doesn't think like that, or the African American, or the Native American, or the Aboriginal American, or the Moor, the Nuwabian, or whatever you want to classify yourself as. We got so many names, so many beautiful names, and I'm not here to discourage you. Whatever you want to call yourself, black, whatever, cool, it works for me. But I just want to show you. Now, some of these houses in here are owned by Mexican Americans. You can tell because they have gates and they gate their stuff and they keep their gates locked. I know that because I used to work around here. When I used to be a utility worker for the electric company, I used to hate coming out here because every time I had to go to a Mexican American house, I got the gate locked and I can't get to the meter because the meter's in the back of the house and have more than one people. Like, man, this don't make no sense, man. So that's why I know. And then the Mexican Americans have the gates on the doors. I mean, they got their names on the gate somewhere. So that's why I know. But again, you see people moving on because somebody got evicted or something, so there's stuff on the curb. This is a reality. But when I speak, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I gotta keep showing you that when I speak and other people speak about this is what we're talking about. I'm not the only one by a long shot who's saying this. But I really want to be honest, a lot of people on YouTube are not saying it. I know it's not popular. This is what I'm looking at right here. This old house right here. So it won't be a matter of time before. It's only be a matter of time before it's either knocked down or somebody else is occupying the house. More likely they'll knock it down and make a nice little stone structure like this. Because you can look at these houses and see like they don't even look like they belong in the neighborhood, but they do. I mean, but they are here. But look at these small houses. I mean, they're old houses. I mean, for the time, I guess it was fine. But I mean, to modernize these homes, it can take some work. So this is what we're looking at. You got a lot of land. So the good thing about living down here now, you got a lot of land. So you have a lot of room to expand, which is a good thing. Because in the modern homes, everything is so tightly squeezed together. I mean, your next neighbor is like maybe 10 feet away from your house. So down here, you got a lot more room. But again, a lot of people who live down here don't see the opportunities they have, and in some cases they don't have the money to actually do anything, but they can create opportunities now. So I want to show you. I'm on the corner of the street here now. Look at this. Just look at the name. So it's safe to say we don't own that, right? I just want to say, but for some reason, you always gotta find one of these in an African American neighborhood. A liquor store. Interesting. Well, these are the realities that a lot of people don't want to talk about. And I know it's painful. And I know you want to escape reality. Believe me, I know. Now, can you see that in the distance on the left-hand side of the screen? It looks like a Asian temple. Now, keep in mind, we're in the middle. I want to stress that one more time in case I didn't say it before. Right on the left-hand side there, right across the street from the post office, that's an Asian temple in the middle of an African-American neighborhood. This is a beautiful, huge temple. I know you probably say, "Oh, you mean it's beautiful?" Well, when I show you the pictures of it a little closer, you'll see what I'm talking about. But in case I didn't tell you, we're in the middle of an African American neighborhood. Just in case I didn't tell you. You see how much space that temple encompasses? Look what they're doing with the land they have. Now I know they might have had a grant or whatever the case is. I'm still showing you what they're doing with the land they have. Now I'm gonna loop around the block real quick. Let's drive with me. And I appreciate y'all, man, spending the time, man. Those of you who made it this far in the video, I really appreciate y'all spending the time to listen and look at the video to see what I'm trying to show you. Because sometimes, like I said, I know most of my videos get very, very few views, and that's cool. I'm cool with that, no big deal. But for those of you that actually listen to what I'm trying to show you, you got couch out in the furniture, couch out there, I guess. So somebody want to sit outside on the curb maybe, or maybe somebody got kicked out the house. I'm not sure. But I just want to show you. So they found a way to create something that benefits themselves to something that some type of they find a way to bring their culture into this country. And like I said, I'm not mad at anybody. So for me to be here, my hands all pushed up and my mouth all pushed out. No, man, I'm not mad at anybody for doing what they got to do. That's what I want to stress. I mean, going around being mad at people, that's stupid. Why are you mad at them for? For taking an opportunity you didn't take? That's your fault. I just want to get out here and show you. Now you can listen to how quiet it is. I'm gonna stop talking. You could make this kind of shit. You could imagine. Now, I want to say this real quick. There's no such thing as a bad neighborhood. I repeat, there is no such thing as a bad neighborhood. It's the people that makes a neighborhood. It's the people that make the community. So they can decide to make it a good neighborhood or a bad neighborhood. There is no such thing as just a bad neighborhood. People will perceive this to be a bad neighborhood. Yes, we are in the middle of a depressed neighborhood. However, these Asian people that stay here, they found a way to make it work for them. So you use what you got to the best of your ability. You choose to throw trash down your neighborhood and not pick it up. That's on you. You choose to have old junkers around your old cars around your house, old junkers that don't work, all up pop on your lawn and stuff. That's up to you. If you choose to have furniture all on the curb and so forth, that's up to you. So I just want to reiterate that there's no such thing as a bad or good neighborhood. So when you see me go into a predominantly African American neighborhood or Mexican American or European American, and you see a difference, it's the people. And I'm well aware that people have more money to spend in different neighborhoods. I'm well aware of that. However, I just want to say that it doesn't make the community bad just based on the location. It's the people. Now, this is a government housing right here we at now. Predominantly, this is very, very important. And this might, if I didn't hurt your feelings by showing you that Asian temple right there in the middle of the community, notice we're not too far from where the Asian temple is at. I didn't cut the video at all. I'll just show you exactly where we're leaving from now. Now, this part of the video might upset some of you guys. This is a police station right there, built into the actual government housing. So whenever people get a little bit rowdy, well, they got a police station right here. So just letting you know that. But again, this is reality. For reality that a lot of people don't want to talk about. Now, it's a landscaping company. That's very important because I'm going to show you who's working the landscape. Now, I'm going to show you something now. I want to talk about mental illness in the African American community. This is what I'm talking about. Now, keep in mind, it's about 9:43 in the morning on a Wednesday morning. 9:43 in the morning. Now, right down here to the left-hand side, you got a couple of African Americans, males and females, over here drinking big 40 ounces and stuff. I said, man, isn't it a bit early for happy hour? I mean, if you want to drink, fine, but I mean, 9:40 in the morning you drinking? But see, that's mental illness when you feel like you have no other escape, no, nothing else you can do. So you just say, well, you give up. Some people just give up on life. This is all I'm gonna be. So this is it. So you walk across the street from where you stay in these government houses to go across the street and drink. I mean, it doesn't make much sense to me, but that's a form of mental illness. It's a Mexican American right here, part of the landscaping company that I showed you a second ago. He works for that landscaping company, cutting the grass on a government housing where mostly what you will say black folks are living at. I can guarantee damn that all the people staying here are black folks. But I'm not gonna say 100%, but I can guarantee, almost guaranteed. I'm gonna put it that way. I can almost guarantee it. Now they're staying right here because they have if you go to this little dirt pad, there's a store right there owned by foreigners. It's an African American female and a male right there. And right behind it, like I said, about 8 or maybe 10 of them back here just drinking. Well, these two are not drinking, but I know the ones back there behind that black car to the right, they are drinking back there. But I mean, just sit up here in the morning, just come here and sit down and waste time. I mean, that doesn't make sense. That's a form of, again, mental illness to me, because I wouldn't be wasting my time just sitting on the corner. That's just wasting your life away, wasting your youth. And you can see they're pretty young. They're not old-looking people. And this guy right here, he's going down to join them. He got his beer in his hand right there in his paper bag. So, again, 9:43, 42 in the morning on a Wednesday. I mean, but this is a reality that a lot of people don't want to talk about. And again, we're not too far from the Asian community, the Asian temple I just showed you. But people don't want to focus on that. You want to focus on all type of other stuff that makes no sense. Now, I understand they're down there drinking because they're trying to escape reality. I understand that. Believe me, I do. But after you get done with your beer, you're still going to, after you come down off your high, or whatever drug you're on, or alcohol you're on, you still have to face reality. Reality doesn't go anywhere. That's why it's called reality. You can escape all day long, but you have to come back to reality sooner or later. Okay, this is the landscaping company. Now, I'm not for sure who owns it, but I know all the workers are Mexican Americans. I'm just saying. So somehow the world owns a company. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not going to speculate who owns it, but they are able to come in here and got a contract to actually cut the grass in this government housing. I'm just saying, we don't see a problem with that. Hey, if you don't want to change your living condition, you don't want to change the way you see life, that's on you. But as for me, I have to be grounded in reality. And when I see something that don't make sense, I got to call out, hey man, it don't make sense. You got people on there, able bodies down there on the corner drinking in the morning, but you got other people around them working. I mean, I just couldn't be wasting my time when I see people working. I'm just sitting down in the corner drinking. I don't drink or smoke, I say, but you want to do what you want to do. I'm not going to begrudge you for doing it. I'm just saying, me personally, I couldn't be around people making progress. I'm just sitting down in the corner, sitting down, drinking. Nah, I just couldn't do it. Just something inside of me said, no, I got to find something to do to be productive. Even if it's going to the library and read a book, if that's the best I can do, that's what I'll do. But to just sit there and just waste my life away drinking, nah, I couldn't do it. And don't tell me, well, they can't afford to go to the library. No, well, if they could afford to get a beer, you could afford to catch a bus if you don't have a car and go to the public library. It's still free, the last I checked. So I don't make excuses, I make solutions. So I'm going to take a pass in front of this temple to show you just how much space it actually encompasses. Again, am I mad at anybody? No, I'm not mad at nobody. This been there for well over 12 years, by the way. It wasn't just done. It's been there for quite some time, and they're still able to keep it up. So you can't say, well, it's new, that's why. No, it's been there for quite some time. And they take care of what they got. But look how much space. And look how well kept it is. The bamboo trees and everything. They got their own trucks in there to do what they need to do. Huh? But you don't see what works. You just can't say, let me just borrow some of this and borrow some of that. I mean, just borrow what works. For the love of God, forgive the pun, another church. Man. But all the churches around this neighborhood, man, this neighborhood should be well blessed. Don't you think? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just saying it should be well blessed. But nevertheless, that's not what this video is about. I think that's what the 4th or 5th or 6th one we just 5th church we passed. I'm not sure. I forgot. I lost count. But I'm gonna take a pass and I'm gonna kind of show you piece by piece what I didn't want to go like I'm stalking the people, so I just will kind of roll by a little fast. But I mean not fast, but at a decent speed, maybe 5 miles an hour, to show you. Okay, this is all this stuff here. They taking their time to build up. Like I said, I'm not sure they got a grant or whatever the case have you, but they're still able to take care of what they have. I'll show you the communities already, so you already know what they look like. See, they got the plants planted in here, they got the stuff, and they brought some of that culture. I understand African Americans have lots of culture, don't get me wrong, but it's still no excuse to keep your neighborhoods in a um, depressed state. Get the bamboo trees planted up there. They got everything nice and done. Everybody here, of course, everybody in here is gonna be Asian American. Everybody. Just want to point that out in case you didn't already figure that out. That everybody living in there and working in there is Asian American. Just in case you didn't figure that part out. Look at that. You got all the trees that like the gazebos, everything. I'm not for sure if they call it gazebos or not, but look, I'm gonna end the video out right here now. Well, at least this part of the video. Just want to show you. Got it nice and well kept. But for some weird reason, when you tell or when you show African Americans, look, man, we can do better than what we're doing. You just gotta go out there and do it. Get to work. No, man, some people waiting for government. Okay, let me ask you a question. What happens if government never gets their act together? What are you gonna do? Do you have a plan B, plan C, or plan D? I mean, I'm all for government doing something, but what happens if they don't do anything right now? Then what? They don't know. To just sit there and just, well, we don't know what we're going to do if the government don't do anything. So I am all for government helping out, don't get me wrong, but you just can't be the be-all, end-all government. Now I want to show you this is me playing a Final Fantasy 14 to show you that I'm not all about just reality, just study. No, I do take breaks, man. I play a lot of MMOs, man. I play World of Warcraft for quite some time, on and off. And I'll show you my characters is locked out. But this is me playing the Final Fantasy 14, A Realm Reborn, and I enjoy my time playing the game. Right now we're in the Palace of the Dead, fighting this big behemoth, and it's funny because you can learn a lot from the game. Because right now a lot of African Americans see that light there is a telegraph to let me know to get out the way. And what we do is we telegraph everything. Oh, we're gonna do this, or we need to do that, and we stop telegraphing your moves. You see, the little light again on the ground lets me know I gotta get out the way. If you keep telegraphing your moves, people will say, well, they can know how to counter you when you come up with any idea. Well, we know exactly what they're gonna do because they told us what they were gonna do. You see, you don't have to broadcast everything. Just act. Just do what you gotta do. You don't have to say testing. Is this mic on? Testing. Hello, okay, this is what we're gonna do. And then you wonder why you can't get it done. I don't know why we didn't get it done. Yeah, I know why. You told everybody what you're gonna do. Well, we can put it on Facebook. We can put it on Instagram. We can put it on Twitter. We can put it on YouTube. And wonder why it doesn't work. I mean, it's something I don't know. I just don't know. So it's just as a game, but I still the way how my mind works, I can learn something from everything I do. So when I look at this game, I say, yeah, that's a lot of the problem. We telegraph our moves. So you just keep telegraphing your move and you wonder why nothing is done. You wonder why a lot of African Americans are still in the condition they were actually in a worse state today than they were right after emancipation. But what do I know? I'm just some random guy making internet videos. But I just want to show you that I do have fun. I gotta take a break away from this type of stuff, man, because if I don't, I'll be depressed. And next, me who don't drink, I'll be out there drinking too. I might be in the corner, joining somebody in some corner. Hey, man, you got room for one more, man? I'll be out there with my 40 ounce, I mean, even the thought of that is depressing. just to think about me out there in some corner drinking my life away, drinking my best years away. And it's funny because many people work their best years away, and then when they get old is when they want to get serious. Man, I gotta get serious with life. But you wasted 40 years of your life. Now you want to get serious at 60? Wow. Good luck with that. Well, I know I'm not discouraging anybody at all, man. But hey, like I said, I'm just showing you that there's more to me than just making videos and just having a monotone voice. And no, I do a lot, man. Like I said, this was quite enjoying. Had some fun doing this, and my back, man. I've been talking for a while, and we killed him. So it was fun, man. It was great. To tell you the truth, that one guy keep dying, but I mean, the healer we had was phenomenal, So it was fun, And I play occasionally. Still have an active membership, and I play. And by the way, this is a Japanese game, so I mean, again, that's why I can't have that type of ideology that I hate people. You know, it doesn't make any sense to me. It wouldn't vibe. Like I said, this company is owned by Square Enix, and the director for this game again, director for this game is a guy named Yoshida. Don't know his first name. I don't know if that's his first or last name, but I know he's a Yoshida though. So, with that being said, I'm about ready to end this video, but I just want to show you the next side of me. Like I said, I don't want to think I'm just all about just learning and not dabbling in the fantasy, because I do dabble into fantasy. But I know when I stop playing that game, it's back to reality. I can't stay in there all day long. I mean, some people try to play games all day long, but I mean, I can't stay in that realm all day, me personally. And I know that, like I said, when I log out, that's it. The fantasy is over. Back to reality. Back to work. Okay? This is not it for me. So now I'm going to show you some of World of Warcraft real quick. The characters anyway, because I can't play because right now I don't have an active membership. So to sum this video up in a nutshell is, I have no problem with escaping. I escape like you see I escape. Everybody have to have their vice, whether it be drinking, smoking. Me, I play video games every once in a while, so that's my vice. Am I saying not to escape? Of course not. I mean, if I don't escape, I'll go insane. I really would go insane. So to sum up the video, land ownership is important. Like I said, if you don't have one of the three main essentials, land, water, and people, your civilization is dead. So if you have land, then next thing for you to do is acquire some water. I mean, I'm not saying you're going to buy your own water plant, but I mean, just if you have land alone, you have one of the basic essentials for survival, which is good. So which means you could probably insulate yourself somewhat from being homeless. At the very least, you could plant food, and at the very least, if you have to, you could maybe sell the land or lease the land out to somebody, so you have some way to generate some type of revenue. So like I said, land ownership is very, very, very important. So I want to thank you guys for listening and taking time out to listen and to watch the video and my other videos. And I really appreciate you guys, and take it easy, and hope this information was useful, and Godspeed to all of you guys. I'm out.